Welcome to Derek Does. Today, we're doing these. These are my new to me vintage Craftsman drill press and bandsaw. There was an ad in one of my local internet neighborhood things of a guy saying that he was giving away for free the tables or the drill press, the bandsaw, and a wood lathe, all Craftsman. He said they've been in the family for generations, and he was very sentimental, but he was trying to clean out his garage and he wanted to get rid of them. So I contacted him. I said I could get there maybe at 4, and then he says, well, it's first come, first serve. And I realized when you say something like that, maybe it's not so much sentimental. You just want to get rid of them. So I stopped everything. I went out, and I happened to be, luckily, the first guy to arrive. He had them out on the sidewalk. I loaded them up and took them home. The drill press, actually, someone had loosened the top, and it was all compressed. And this thing is super heavy, by the way. I'm going to show you these two items. I won't show you the lathe. I'm probably going to sell the lathe just because I've had a lathe before and I never really used it. It was an old vintage 40s Craftsman. And when I moved, it's just pretty heavy, and I decided to sell it. And so this one's like an early 50s Craftsman. It probably went along with the exact same years of all these when whoever bought this bought it from the Sears catalog or went to the Sears store and got them. I was going to show you these, but I don't need the lathe anyway, so that's that. But I can use this drill press. This drill press is really nice. It's much better than the Taiwan, the cheap one I have that I think I got secondhand somehow, and my bandsaw, which is actually a nice Craftsman. It's a newer Craftsman, but I kind of like the old one. I'll see how it goes once I get this one, but I have to restore this one. This one I think is pretty much ready to go, but we'll dive into that when we take a look at each one. Well, let's start with the drill press. This, as I said, this is a nice vintage Craftsman. It's all cast iron. And as you can see, it's actually made by the King-Seeley Corporation for Craftsman. And I believe this one is probably early 50s. Might be late 40s, but I think, probably 1952 to 54 in that range. It's a really nice drill press. Really heavy duty. I just oiled it up, but then I blew it out, and so then all the little sawdust that was hidden inside it has come out and kind of coated it. So we will have to take care of that. But it has a really nice, I love the look of it. I mean, they just don't make it. And obviously you can see from the new one just doesn't have this sexiness about it. It's just like, it's just going down the road fast. So it's really nice. It's all original paint. Let me turn it a little bit, show you that. So this side is your lock. Don't mess with this because the whole thing will fall down. I discovered that. So you got your plate here, and underneath it, it also has a calibration where you can rotate the plate so you can drill at an angle if you need to. I took off the, this actually attaches back here to the top, and then runs off of the belt, and then runs belts here at the top. And there's 1, 2, 3 that you can adjust for speeds. I don't think there's anything wrong with the motor. The motor is obviously original to it. It's also a Craftsman. I'll show you that. So this is a 0.5 horsepower. I have to see what my current drill press is. I know it's not a 0.5 horse. And then you have your on and off toggle. All your electronics are built into this. I took this off because this cord is just toast. It needs replaced, and I was a little worried about using it. As you can see, it's just frayed, and I just want to get a brand new cord for this. So I was going to take this apart, put a new cord in it, and do whatever lubrication this particular motor needs. And I still need to lubricate this. I need to figure out where to do all that too. I haven't figured that out yet. But I thought I'd just show you guys this. This is stuff you can find. And keep in mind that this is what, 50, 70 years old, probably around 70 years old. And it would probably outperform anything you bought today new. And this isn't even like their top of the line model. This is a mid-range drill press. But let me push it. I just love the look of it. Once I get this all cleaned up, it's going to look really nice. I'm going to probably polish up this. I'll get a brass Dremel wire brush and probably go over this just to kind of get this, because this originally was, you know, it wasn't rusty-ish. It's not rust. It's just discolored over time. It should be a clean looking metal. Oh, and the model number, I'll show you that. Right there, it's a 103-23-641. Now, if you've watched my channel for a little bit, you know that when I get something old, like an old moped or sewing machine, anything mechanical, I always like to get the original documents. Now, this I had to go on eBay for. The guy didn't have any of the original documents for this. I only got it for the drill press because it's the only one I found so far and could afford. I saw one for the bandsaw, but it was pretty pricey and I didn't want to spend it, especially since all this stuff really is still online and you can actually go online and look at it. But I like to actually get the original manual. So this is the actual original manual for the 103-23-641. And here it has like all the parts, which I just love. And it's actually lithographed too. It's not just printed in a printer. And this lists all your parts. That's what she looked like new, kind of, I guess, in black and white. But it lists the parts, shows you about how to do RPMs in the spindles, like I was showing you at the top, how to set that up, which is kind of nice to know. And also, you can actually see what parts maybe are missing or what parts you might need. And then it also comes with the drill press and illustrated manual operation. So this is sort of stuff that you can find on eBay or wherever. This one's actually dated 1952, as you can see. So I'm assuming mine's around that era. This was originally, there's mine, and it also came on a floor model also. So it'd be this exact same model, it'd just be on the floor. And I kind of like it because you can also see what parts or accessories you could find for it, which is kind of nice, how to use it, laying out things. It's your manual, how to do stuff, which I really like. And it even comes with the original envelope. Obviously, it's not in perfect condition. I didn't check the, oh no, it didn't have the, I thought it had the, like it had a serial number on it, but I thought that'd be really cool if I actually found the original manual to this one, but I didn't. But I only have it for the drill press, which is right here, and I highly recommend, if you can, pick up the original manuals, catalogs, things along that nature, because there's a lot of things you'll discover going through it that you didn't realize you needed or wanted, and then you can go look for those items also. So now let's take a look at the bandsaw. So this is the matching bandsaw to this. Now, also I forgot to, I think there was a piece of chrome piece on these sides that has come out. You could see actually right there, had a little rivet or a little something holding it in. So it is missing those little chrome pieces, but I'm okay without the chrome pieces. But here's the bandsaw. It's missing the safety guard here that you could raise up and down, just so you don't have this, what's almost like 5 inches of actual blade coming onto you. And then you have a guide here that you can put in some sort of device to keep it straight or narrow it or whatever you want to do. This one I'm going to have to restore because bandsaws, as I've discovered kind of looking into this, things wear away, more so than the drill. So let me show you this side. This is the other side. It just has some nice deco design to it. I mean, there's no point to have this or to have that. It's just because they wanted the tools to look good, to look nice. So this model, right there, that's the 103-24 280. Now this is where the motor belt would be set up. You set up here and it would run. This one also has table tilting that you can move this around to tilt this table just like you could with the other drill press. And I'll show you, I'll take off the cover so you can see on the inside, and you can see kind of what I'm going to have to do to get this back to fighting form. You can also see this is also a King-Seeley Corporation for Sears. So again, I'm not a huge vintage tool guy. This is actually my first set of vintage Craftsman power tools, I would say. But to open it up, you remove these 4 chrome knobs. There's 2 down here. I was lucky, both of these items are actually pretty clean. They weren't out in the elements getting rained on or moisture, and they're both from Colorado area, so there's not a lot of moisture in the air. Like if you're on the East Coast, where just even if it was in a garage, it would be all rusty just from the moisture and the humidity. So let me show you this though. So this comes off. This is actually a cast aluminum giant piece. Like today it'd just be a bunch of plastic. But inside, if you've never seen the inside of a bandsaw, they actually have 2 big wheels that the blade is one continuous blade that rolls around on this. Now the thing that I'm going to have to replace is it's missing the belts. There's a belt that runs around this side and a belt that runs around this side, and then the blade runs on the belt, so it has a bit of a cushion and can move around, and also that belt kind of holds it as it's spinning. So right now the belt has gone, it's just deteriorated, it's fallen apart. I'm not sure what has happened to it, but it's gone. So those are 2 things I have to get, and also these kind of, I guess they'd be a bushing on either side that hold the blade in there. It wears away just because the blade, the metal is rubbing on the metal. So it's just one of those things you replace when you do everything. I don't think it's going to be that much to get this going. Just have to get the belt, set this up. The only thing I wish it had the guard on it, just so it's a little safer, because there is actually no safety at all on these older ones. Not that there's much on the newer ones, but they have to add a little bit. It's kind of like a car. If you wreck a vintage car, there's no safety in it. Kind of the same way this, but also you don't get the power and just the styling that you get with this. But this is the bandsaw. I'm going to be working on this summer, hopefully get this going. I still have my other Craftsman bandsaw that I can use in the meantime if I need to, and if I do get this going, I probably will sell that one, keep this one just because it's cooler. And I'm sure I can find this guard somewhere, I'm sure on eBay or something like that, or even one of the tool, there's a lot of those tool forums that have stuff. They probably have it too, so I'll check into that. So this is the bandsaw I'm going to replace. This is, I got this actually from my neighbor who used to do woodworking and retired, and he had this Craftsman that was a great deal. I think it was $50. And it's a really nice Craftsman. I mean, it's nothing wrong with it. It's more modern. And this model is, this is a 10-inch bandsaw, and it's a model 119-214-000. There's really nothing wrong with this. It's got a nice little motor on it, a little 3/4 or 3/8, 1/3 horsepower. It's a nice clean bandsaw. It's great. It's not a real huge, the blade's nice and small, so you can use it for smaller things. It's just that I think I'm gonna try to use this other one. I'm not gonna sell this one yet until I get the new one working. But I thought I'd show you what I had and what I'm going to replace this I'm going to replace with. And just a side note, if anyone knows what this thing is, I got it with the grouping and I'm not sure what it goes to. It's a Craftsman. I didn't see like a model number on it anywhere. Obviously it's an attachment for some piece of equipment. I assume this slides into something and something goes through that. I don't know what it goes to. There is a number right here. There's a part number. I don't know if you can quite see that. But I'm not sure. These adjust and everything's, I don't know, is it to a router? I'm not positive what this thing is. I don't think it goes to any of these two items, but I thought any of the tool techie guys watching, maybe they would know what this is. Just curious. So there's kind of just an overview of the two items I picked up last week. I'm always trying to look for cool stuff, and every once in a while something cool will pop up, kind of like my mopeds. I was not looking for a moped and one popped up and I got it, and now I have three. It's just kind of how it works, I guess. You find something that's cool and speaks to you and you play with it and you discover you kind of like it. If you like this sort of content, please subscribe, comment below, because I'm not a tool guy of this type of stuff. Obviously there's guys that know way more than me on this sort of thing. And if you have some thoughts and suggestions of things to do and things maybe to get to keep both these tools, get them back to working and in good order, let me know. Because I'm sure there's a lot of guys that maybe find one of these or find something else that's similar, and they could maybe use this video and information to help them get their tools back to where they could be and maybe get a little better than what they were. So either way, I thought you'd enjoy this. These are both my Craftsman vintage drill press and my Craftsman vintage bandsaw. So I will see you on the next video, and hopefully I'll have these up and going and we can use them on future projects. See ya.